Hey, look, finally someone in the mainstream is telling you what I've been telling you for the past 10 years. So, congratulations for finally catching up, I guess. Former IGN, and by the way, IGN is short for ignorant. Every time you see that thrown out there, writer claims the outlet told reviewers they were not really allowed to give bad scores to comic books. Wow, you mean the access journalists don't piss off those who give them the access? Wow, who could have seen this coming? Man, I thought I was a crazy conspiracy theorist for pointing this out. So, in yet another apparent confirmation that mainstream quote unquote geek media is in bed with the very companies they cover, a former ignorant staffer has claimed that during his tenure with the site, he and his colleagues were not really allowed to leave negative reviews on comic books. And this is why nobody trusts them. They know that like access media are paid shills. Like, man, I think I covered like a game that was gifted to me like once, but in general, like the stuff I play on stream, I bought it myself. Or maybe if someone gifted it to me, it was a gift from a friend, like not from the company itself or anyone with ties to them. But yeah, like I play shit that I bought. Like, I am not beholden to anybody. Like, I'm not scared. Like, oh, if I give this a bad review, oh, that means that they're never going to send me a review copy. I've never had a review copy. No, no, man. The only people you can actually trust are the people that bought this stuff with their own money and are going to give their unbiased review. Now, there are some people out there like the sunk cost fallacy will kick in and they're like, man, I don't want to feel like I wasted my money on this. I want to feel like I wasn't ripped off. So, like, some people might put a positive spin on it because they don't want to feel like they got ripped off. But in general, like a lot of people, once they feel they were ripped off, they just get more pissed than embarrassed. Like, man, I'm so pissed I fell for this and got ripped off. I want to let everyone else know how bad this is so no one goes through what I did. But yeah, you can't trust access media. Like they go out of their way to avoid pissing off the people giving them the free shit. So the supposed lack of ethics was leveled on February 6th by freelance journalist Tresdine, who reviewed comic books for ignorant from current year -9 to current year -8. Well, not very long tenure. In response to a twat about the outlet's recent Hogwarts Legacy review. So I think Wired gave Hogwarts Legacy like a 1 out of 10, just proving that they're activists and not gamers. But Ignorant, since they want to maintain their relationship with WB, they were too scared to give the game a negative review, which is hilarious. Taking note of the dissonance between reviewer Travis Northrop's criticism of everything from how the game is cursed with lack of enemy variety and suffered from just about every issue that makes Ignorant's performance team review team cry, the final score was 9 out of 10. Twitter user Epistemophagy opined IGN's review of Hogwarts Legacy is very weird because it reads like they wanted to give it a bad review but weren't allowed to, because that's exactly what it was. That is exactly right. Jumping off from Epistemophagy's observation, Dean alleged video games aren't really my lane, but when I was reviewing comics for Ignorant about 10 years ago, we were in fact not really allowed to give bad reviews. Yeah, this is what happens when the statute of limitations runs out. Oh, I could no longer get in trouble for talking about this, so let's talk about it. A study of Ignorance archives proves that there may in fact be some truth to Dean's words. No, of course it's true. I've been telling you guys this before he even was a reviewer, since the dawn of my channel in like 2013. And even before then, it's just not on YouTube. So on one hand, contrary to the former staffer's recollection, during his tenure at Ignorant allowed a number of its reviewers to give books poor scores, including DC's The World's Finest Volume 1, number 22, Marvel's Ultimate FF Volume 1, and DC's Future End Grayson, the last even written by Dean himself. On the other, the frequency of these negative reviews were just as wishy-washy as Dean's not really loud statement of the situation, with roughly 2 such bad scores being posted per week. So, for example, the week of September 24th, with Catwoman Futures End and IDW's G.I. Joe Volume 4 tied for last with an even 5 out of 10 each. On January 21st, the losers were DC's New 52 with Futures End and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which failed to reach both of which failed to reach even a 5 out of 10. I guess that's about as low as you can go. Those damn NDAs. Yeah, it's not even just the NDAs. Like sometimes you could just reveal something that could lead to legal trouble. So, in further support of Dean's account, it was not uncommon for certain books of questionable quality to receive questionably high praise, consisting of a 3-page fight between the titular team and a random shark, followed by 16 pages of setup and forced melodrama involving America Chavez. Marvel's Secret Wars events tie-in issue A-Force Volume 1 earned an 8.4 out of 10. A masterpiece! An absolute masterpiece. With review Jesse Shadeen praising, while certain details regarding this nature of this team and their connection to the old Marvel universe remain unclear, A-Force #1 makes a worthy debut for Marvel's newest team book. Newest miniseries. Despite being widely panned by fans and critics alike for its bastardization of the Zarnian bounty hunter, October 2nd, 2014's Lobo Volume 3, Number 1 still managed to snag a relatively respectable 6.8 from Ignorance Jeff Lake. So while Lobo proves he can hold his own, Cullen Bunn still has some kinks to work out, he meekly summarized of the issue. You think so? However, what lends Dean's claims the most credence is the admitted fact the media frequently plays nice with giant media corporations in order to maintain access to their products. We've known this for a long time, man. It's just now people are starting to figure it out. As explained by Sci-Fi Wire editor Danny Roth during appearance on the site's Who Won the Week podcast, there is an actual reality. Here's where we actually are in the industry. If you really want to talk about, quote, access media, every single person that wants to have access to things early, that wants to get access to things so that traffic is drawn to their site, will, on occasion, everybody at this podcast, everyone in our industry, occasionally has to play softball, occasionally has to look the other way a little bit. And now the customers know it. So now in the short term, more traffic to your site from early reviews is going to help a lot. But in the long term, not being a paid fucking shill is what the customers want. Although live streaming has really changed the game. Because if you give a live streamer early access to a game, it doesn't matter how softball the live streamer is going. Everyone watching the stream can easily tell if the game is shit. It doesn't matter how the streamer tries to spin it. It doesn't matter if they try to avoid addressing obvious bugs and issues. Everyone watching can see it for what it really is. So live streaming really is by far the best way to get early reviews for anything. Because regardless of what the streamer says, you can see for yourself what it is you're watching. Yeah, everybody has to do it. He continued in the sense that I hated a movie, but I won't say I hated a movie or an actor behaved a certain way. You don't want to put it out that happened. Oh, like every time they try to cover up what woke people like Ezra Miller do. Yeah, we know. So met with agreeing assertion, right? Because you might not get the next review from his fellow Sci-Fi editor, Karam Mahorn. Roth went on to conclude, to some degree, everybody in our industry is part of this quote-unquote access media. Not the streamers and the YouTubers, which is why they're taking all your customers. Maybe there's a reason for that. Somebody as part of this going asks me has to decide which battles they want to pick. Which of the ones where my voice is the one that has to get said? Well, eventually, if you're a paid shill often enough, if you give too many good reviews to garbage product, and if you give too many bad reviews to good products because of ideological bullshit, eventually you lose all your customers. It doesn't matter if you have the first review of a product if everyone knows you're a paid shill. And we're seeing the fallout of that now. This is one of the main reasons why this industry is completely collapsing and nothing of value is being lost. They're not literally nothing but a bunch of paid shills. Nobody cares about these paid shills.